Hello and welcome. My name is Dan Roberts, Head Teacher at Devonport High School for Boys. During this short video, I look forward to sharing our remote learning offer during the lockdown period beginning in March 2020. First of all, let's discuss our vision. We were committed to ensuring wherever possible and reasonable continuity in the education of our students. We recognise that there may be occasions where extraordinary circumstances such as the COVID-19 pandemic may dictate that the closure of the school site is necessary, and therefore all students are required to stay at home. We want our students, families and staff to be able to rise to the challenge and manage the demands of remote learning, whilst maintaining good continuity of education, and whilst ensuring that all members of the community remain safe. We have been working over the last couple of years to ensure we have no barriers with regards to digital accessibility. One initiative in the last year has been the one-to-one Chromebook purchase scheme, where we have rolled out the purchasing of Chromebooks for students and for all teachers to embed the practice with Google Apps for Education. During lockdown, any shortfall in digital access was filled. Any families with issues were issued with school Chromebooks to ensure that access, including any additional barriers such as no Wi-Fi, were resolved primarily by the school. You can see in this diagram our strategy with regards to digital over the last 5-6 years. Let's have a look at the key principles of our remote learning offer. One of the main expectations and principles was to continue to offer a broad and balanced curriculum offer. We wanted to maintain this. We wanted to offer all subjects and all additional activities. We also wanted to have that reassurance of a shared routine between the school, which is teachers and other staff, and the home, students and parents. And to do that, we used Google Apps for Education, which our community are already confident in using. We wanted to maintain some face-to-face contact with class teachers and tutors to ensure that we still continue to provide that support, and this also encourages engagement and continues that motivation. We wanted a variety of learning tasks with some taught work included in most lessons via either a live Google Meet or by a recording, and a mix of some independent tasks. We wanted to give the right amount of work, not too much, not too little. And obviously this is less straightforward than it sounds, as all students can work at different paces. We wanted it to be sustainable, so from a student, a parental and a staff perspective, we wanted that to be sustainable for the full period of remote learning. Keeping in mind that all of this was out of our collective comfort zone, and that we would have to work through it together. And of course, mistakes would be made along the way, but we would all keep learning to support each other. So what did the remote learning look like? It's important to know that one of the strengths of our remote learning offer is that we continue to maintain, and in the future we will continue to maintain, covering the entire curriculum, including subjects like physical education, PSHE, tutor activities and careers. Our students followed their normal timetable wherever possible to instill healthy habits and a routine. Where this was not possible due to their home circumstances, everything was recorded and everything was available to be accessed at any time, which did give families a greater flexibility to best manage their own personal situation to best support their child. The day would begin with a daily tutor activity accessed via Google Drive. There were also 60 minutes of exercise encouraged through the daily activities shared by the PE department. The aim was to give all students a personalised, accessible and enjoyable activities every single day. Students would then follow their normal class timetable and therefore would access 25 hours of subject-specific learning each week. And in addition to this subject provision, all students accessed our tutorial programme and whole school community events such as virtual assemblies. All of our lessons followed a consistent 4-part lesson cycle. This consisted of, number 1, a review, This was around about 5 minutes. It involved a short online quiz, which was self-marking to review previous learning. This may be a review of the previous lesson or a week's work to assess that short-term memory recall, or it could be a quiz to introduce a new topic and therefore addressing recall of the foundation knowledge needed to build upon. Part 2 was the presentation of new material, around about 5 to 10 minutes, and this involved a video recording of the class teacher presenting new information about the subject content for the week. That was mainly content-based rather than instructional. The third part, was guiding to student practice, which was around about 20 to 30 minutes. This was a task or a series of tasks that were provided to allow students to build knowledge of the topic and the lesson content. This may have been in the form of note-taking, using a specific structure or model, like a knowledge organizer, a mind map, a flow diagram, etc. And the structure provided as a resource by the teacher. And the fourth part was the independent learning task and review. This was around 15 to 30 minutes. And this was a task to practice or apply that new knowledge or skill, and was in the form of a set of developmental questions, an independent piece of writing, a practical task, etc. It's then likely that task was then submitted to the teacher for checking and feedback. There are also additional features of the remote learning offer. Teachers identified one time each week, this was normally during a timetable lesson time, where they were available via Google Meet, which was face-to-face, or via Google Classroom chat, to be able to answer questions about the work that was being set. Students were also encouraged to use the Google Classroom class comment function at any time. This was to ask questions about the work, and also to allow the opportunity for other students in the class to answer and to support with, emphasizing greater collaboration, very much remembering that learning is a social process. Tutors also provided a weekly opportunity to meet online via Google Meet with their tutees in small groups. This was to encourage their work ethic, allow them to see one another, to share stories, activities and concerns, and to reiterate whole school messages that have been shared. We also had regular weekly engagement in e-safety topics and e-safety learning for both students and parents, with the aim to support further remote learning. All students were monitored to check their engagement in all areas of remote learning, and this was recorded and communicated with parents daily, and any concerns that were raised were investigated quickly and support put in place and provided. We also had daily tech support for students and families that was available, including access to an online self-help facility, which includes video tutorials and self-help guides. We've had excellent digital access, and we have well-established systems and effective practice, and we have the capacity and the capability to provide good quality remote learning. During that time, our students, parents, carers and staff worked incredibly hard to engage with remote learning. We had extremely high levels of engagement, and overall, considering, like all schools across the country, that you had to adapt just within 2 days and to do something that we'd never done before, the remote learning was of a fantastic standard. If you have any questions or would like further information or support, then please do register your support request via the EdTech Demonstrator website. Thank you for listening.